Those in charge of the state's purse strings at the Idaho Legislature wasted little time in picking up where they left off last year, especially when it comes to the higher education budgets, leaning into allegations of, quote, wasteful spending and, quote, on, I should say, social justice programs. The state's universities and colleges are delivering their budget requests to members of JFAC, the legislature's budget-setting joint committee. You may remember last session when lawmakers cut $2.5 million from higher ed budgets, with the goal to remove support of those, quote, social justice ideology programs on campus. It was a theme that took over the session last year when it came to education and the money to pay for it. Several Republican lawmakers offered unsupported accusations of critical race theory being taught in Idaho schools and students made to feel uncomfortable for being white and male. It was likely why those budget discussions went on until May of last session. Well, yesterday, the committee heard from Kurt Liebig, the president of the Idaho State Board of Education. He told them they sent out a survey to more than 55,000 undergraduate and graduate students at all 8 of Idaho's public colleges and universities. 9,000 responded. Liebig says a supermajority of students said they felt valued, respected, and have a sense of belonging at their respective institutions. And it broke down like this. 89% said they feel valued. 97% feel respected. 68% never or rarely feel pressure to affirm or accept beliefs they find offensive. 81% reported never or rarely feeling ashamed or bullied for sharing their personal beliefs or viewpoints. And 91% said they feel safe to express their personal beliefs or viewpoints with others. Liebig told the committee there is obviously still some work to be done, but they do plan to conduct this survey on an annual basis. That survey, we're told, will be made public in about 2 weeks. Representative Ron Nate of Rexburg, who was one of the several Republican lawmakers to cut university funds last year, he brought up critical race theory in his very first question. Liebig told him the State Board of Education has spent exactly 0 seconds talking about CRT. Rather, he says they spent their time trying to get these kids through a global pandemic, not chasing ghosts. Then this morning, JFAC heard from Dr. Marlene Tromp, president of BSU. Remember that $2.5 million cut to the higher education budget? Well, it was $105 million of that was taken, or I should say $1.5 million of it was taken from Boise State directly. And a provision in the bill was for the State Board of Education to evaluate and maybe direct where students' fees would be spent to limit programs that promote social justice ideology.
I was surprised to see instead of a reduction or a tapering back of these programs, BSU actually created a new anti-racism center with social justice programming in its mission statement. So instead of a decrease, I'm actually seeing an increase in social justice programming. Am I missing something at Boise State?
I would say we have evolved our programming. So I would say that matches the desire of the bill. We have evolved our programming, but that doesn't mean we have reduced the kinds of offerings that are available to our students.
Representative Nate pressed Dr. Tromp 3 times on that issue, and she offered the same answer all 3 times. President Tromp did expand to say evolved programming also includes extensive work in educating students and staff on thinking for themselves. This year, higher education in Idaho is asking for a 2% increase over last year to $313.1 million.